Hey, good evening. Kathy Beatty here with Divorce Support Anonymous, coming to you Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Here we are. We meet again. Thank you for joining me tonight, and always here to give encouragement, some guidance to help you get through the trauma of divorce. Tonight's going to be kind of a fun topic. I'm kind of excited about it because it's going to help you maneuver through divorce better, quicker, and to get to the other side. So, of course, as always, you can ask questions, you can shoot up a comment, send me a text, give me a call. We can have a conversation. So I'd be more than happy to do that if you so choose. If not, I know there's a lot of you who are just quietly listening, digesting all that's being said and all the helpful tips. So I would love your feedback, though. Always love to know, am I getting across what's helping you? So you have a minute, jot me a text or a note. Again, we're going to start another virtual group. Really excited about this, October 28th. What we do is we start 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why so late? Because your babies are in bed and you can hopefully get some privacy and still get the support that you need. So connect with me if you have any questions. Speaking of connecting with me, you can connect with me on my website or this Facebook page. So the title of tonight's talk is The 5 Dysfunctions of a Divorce. Kind of a strange title, and you may say, but a divorce is dysfunction, and you are totally correct. It is dysfunction based on a dysfunctional marriage results in a divorce. But there are things that people do in the divorce process, that really makes it more painful than it has to be. So I want to give you some tips. 5 dysfunctions of a divorce so that you can make sure that you have this area covered. As always, I have this workbook that is yours for the asking. I send out a download, helps you get all of your materials together that you need going through the process of divorce. If you haven't met with your attorney yet, you need this book because it's going to help you list all the things that you need to know to get together, to get ready for the process of divorce. It's difficult enough. So the more preparation that we can have done, ready, do ourselves, we can save money, we can save time, and save heartache along the way. So 5 dysfunctions of a divorce. First of all, not knowing your finances. Many times in mediation, people come into the mediation and they don't have a handle on their finances. This is true of women and of men. They don't have the documentation that they need about their finances. They don't have knowledge that they need of their finances. This may have been that because their soon-to-be former spouse handled all of the finances. So they were put at a total disadvantage. So always in a relationship, if ever again you go into a relationship, know your finances, take handle of them, control them. So the number one is those people who don't have a handle on their finances. They are not knowledgeable of their finances. They don't know what's in their retirement account. So wherever you're at in this process, make sure that you have the documentation that you need and you know your finances, that you know the retirement accounts, you know all of the savings accounts. all of that information is going to be crucial. And if you've not handled finances before, this is an opportunity for you to learn them. You don't have to be an immediate expert, but you've got to be knowledgeable on your finances. And many people's like, oh, I'm just not good at it. So they kind of freak out. No, sister, no, brother, now is the time. You've got to get a handle on it. Take baby steps if you must, but get a handle on your finances. That is going to help you expedite all of the processes that you have to go through as far as dividing the assets, dividing the debts. So number one, not knowing your finances. Number two, the dysfunction that happens in an already painful process is tit for tat. You hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. And sometimes they don't care what they're throwing at each other. It's even the children sometimes. So divorce is painful enough. You don't need this tit for tat, this equal retaliation. What you need is smart moves, smart strategies to get through the divorce. I need that book. You got it, Kendra. All I need is you message me your email address. It's too large for me to send through a messenger. I've tried, it doesn't work. So I will send it out. So if you want to just message me privately, your email address, I will get that out to you. Thank you it's nice. There's life out there. I get to see life out there. Thank you. I appreciate that. So tit for tat. Again, I know the pain, and we want to throw things at people, particularly our soon-to-be former spouse. It's not helping you. It's wasting time. It's making things more complicated. In this process, you have to have a good business sense. You don't have time for this emotional pettiness because your future is at stake. So instead of tit for tat, deal with that pain. In our support groups, we talk about that pain. We help you process that pain. As I work with individuals, one-on-one coaching, we talk about that pain. We process that pain. We don't do foolish things that are going to hurt our future, hurt our children more. We have to be smart. We have to be wise right now in making the right decisions. The next dysfunction is including the children in adult matters. So many times I see this in mediation. A parent who wants more parenting time, not because they want to be a good parent, but they don't want to pay child support, or they want to get back at the other person. And I've heard too many stories about how parents are using their grown or teenage children as confidants. Trust me when I say they cannot handle it, nor should they have to. Wise words, if your children want to get involved in the business of divorce, and sometimes that's true of children too, they don't know the boundaries. They want to get into your business and handle it and be like a third party here. It does not work that way. It's not healthy for your children. They don't need to be involved with the dirty details of the divorce. Protect them. I've even had parents who are telling me that they told the children, and they were, junior high, early high school age, about the affair and some of the dirty details. It's like, please, please don't do that to your children. They have enough of their own trauma that they are dealing with right now. Their whole foundation is being broken. Do not bring them into the adult matters of divorce. Spare them. Because if you do, if you handle this well with your children, you will save them from so much damage and so much harm. So please, 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 don't include children into these matters. I know they're so close to the situation. It's very easy to just give them details. You want to justify your actions. You want to stand up for yourself. I get it. Your children are not there for that. That's what support group is for. That's what therapists are for. is so that you are dealing with that information, those hurts, in the right place. Uh, my ex is doing that right now with my 22-year-old. I hear you. I am so sorry, because it's not helping your 22-year-old or the situation. Now, I've been asked before, so what do I do? The father or the mother, I've seen it in both cases, are telling my children, my adult children, different information. What can I do about it? I feel like I have to justify myself. No, you don't. Here's what you have to do. You have to be the mature, consistent, healthy parent. And you say something like this: I am so sorry that your father is sharing this information with you. Honey, this is between me and your dad. I'm so sorry. I don't want to burden you with all of the heavy details of this divorce. I'm so sorry. And then you do not share that information. You are that consistent, healthy parent. And your conversation with your children are, how are you doing through all of this? Who are you talking to? I apologize to my son every day. Man, I'm sorry. I know that hurts. But I'm grateful that you're not causing that hurt. And this situation, like many, is we ask ourselves, what can I control here? And what are my choices within what I can control? That's how we stay sane through divorce. Okay, so including the children and adult matters, I've mentioned that. Runaway emotions. This also is how we are dysfunctional in divorce. We can't get a handle on our emotions, and we do stupid things because of them. We go into these verbal wars with our former spouse. Let me tell you something. If you are going through a divorce and you know that there's no reconciliation for this relationship, there is no reason for you to have emotional discussion with your soon-to-be former spouse. There's nothing good that can come out of it. Not in the thick of it, not in the heat of the divorce. Your conversation with him or her should be factuals, that only things that relate to the children or facts that you need to share with that individual. That's all. That's it. Protect yourself. Guard your heart, the scriptures say. Guard your heart. Don't have those emotional conversations with him or her. It's beyond that point. Again, unless there's reconciliation, then you need someone to guide you through conversation, like a marriage counselor or a therapist. But a runaway emotions can result in crazy conversations that should not be taking place. They don't need to. Hopefully in the future, when things have calmed down, the divorce is over, you can reestablish some type of friendship with them, simply because they are going to be in your life if you have children together. You are going to have to attend family gatherings, funerals, I'm thinking, or your children's weddings. So friendship can be created later, not now. Right now, in the thick of the divorce, you need to guard your heart. And runaway emotions, let me speak a little bit more about that. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? You can have runaway emotions where you wear out your family and friends by saying the same story over and over, the injustice over and over. That's what support groups are for. That's what my coaching is for, is to have a place to vent, to let go of this, to process what it means, to process the pain, to understand the anger. But you don't want runaway emotions, because you'll do something stupid. And you don't want that. You don't want to have any more regret than what you already have. So put your emotions in the appropriate place. with a therapist, with a confidant, a friend who is emotionally healthy enough to handle it, or join a support group. You've got to find a place for those emotions, or they are going to run away, or they're going to hurt you physically. So, number 5, dysfunction of a divorce is going through it alone. We think, you know what? I have been hurt so deeply. I'm not being vulnerable ever again. I am holding all of my stuff, my emotions, my feelings tight. I'm clenching my fist and my jaw, and I'm getting through this divorce. You know, I suffer from independence a lot too, and I get it. But right now, you don't need to be alone. You need to be somewhere in a safe space where you can be vulnerable, where you can really feel what you're feeling and admit what you're feeling. This is not the time to be the strong soldier. This is a time to begin your healing from the trauma of divorce. Last point, trying to find a scripture verse to go with this. Don't be afraid. The Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. You know, God said that to Joshua, and he's saying that to you as well. This is a spiritual event, a spiritual trauma. So you can't just take care of the legalities of it. You have to take care of the emotional part of it, but you also have to address the spiritual part of it. I want you to know that you are not alone, that God truly longs to draw near you, to give you comfort, to give you wisdom, to give you discernment. Don't go through it alone. And yet that is one of the huge dysfunctions of divorce. People think they can. 5 dysfunctions of divorce: not knowing your finances, tit for tat, equivalent retaliation, including the children and adult matters, runaway emotions, and going through it alone. Divorce is a trauma. There are ways in which you can help yourself going through this divorce. And I hope the 5 dysfunction that I listed allow you to do inventory. Where am I out of whack? Where am I not being wise in this transition of divorce? Help's available. You don't have to go through it alone. I do individual counseling, support groups. I know virtual is not the best. In person is so much better. But we have to work with what we can work with. And there are a lot of advantages by going into a virtual setting. I hope this has been of help. I look forward to connecting with you. I'll be sending a workbook out to you, Kendra, I believe it was. And I'll be praying for you, a Facebook user who mentioned that your spouse is sharing too much information with a 22-year-old. I hurt for you in that because I know how painful that is. Be that consistent parent. And don't go through divorce alone. And we want to get your healing started. So connect with me, and we'll see you next week, Divorce Support Anonymous, and throughout the week if you catch some of my video posts. Let me know where I could be of help. Have a great weekend. Take care of you. Good night.